Hey everybody, this is Brian with Aromacup.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me, as always, in my virtual coffee shop, brought to you by Aromacup.com. Today, I'm going to be giving you a side-by-side comparison of two great single-serve coffee machines. I've got the Nespresso Pixie single-serve espresso machine, and then I have the Tassimo T45, the BrewBot, as it's more commonly known. And I'm going to show you some of the comparison between these two units, because they can both be used to make very much the same beverages, and we'll go ahead and make a drink as we're talking about how to use these units. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So each of these machines has some very specific functions which are kind of similar and also very unique to each unit. I've spoken about these machines in depth at various times in some of our other video reviews, which you can always check out, of course, on Aromacup.com. But let me tell you a little bit about both of these machines. Each of these machines can do espresso. Of course, the Nespresso Pixie is specifically for making espresso drinks, cappuccinos, lattes, you can do Americanos, and things like that. You can do espresso using the Tassimo, the T45. However, it's a little more like a espresso blend. It's not a traditional espresso as what we can make using the Pixie. However, I can still make that multitude of beverages like cappuccinos, lattes, various things like that using the BrewBot. So both of these machines are really useful for doing a lot of different drinks. Each of them, of course, are single serve, so they're very quick and easy to make a number of different drinks. They each have their own water reservoir on the back of the unit, which holds water which will be hot and ready to use with the unit. Each of them has some different programmable functions that you can make use of, but moreover, each one is really super easy to use. Each one makes use of a different type of coffee capsule. In the case of the Nespresso Pixie, we use these Nespresso espresso capsules. And there's 16 different varieties of these capsules. You can only get these made by Nespresso, but these are great because they're sealed, they're ready to go with some espresso inside of each one. And in the case of the BrewBot, I've got an espresso tea disc right here. And so you can see the difference between these two immediately. Now, one of the things that makes the BrewBot really different in comparison with the Pixie is that it's a much more set it and forget it type of machine. It makes use of these barcodes that are on the top of the tea disc, and that's why it's the BrewBot. It's smart. It reads these barcodes that tells the machine how much water it needs to use to make the drink that you're making and various things like that. Now, in addition to being able to do all of these different type of capsules, doing espresso and things like that, I can also do teas and some cold drinks, different hot drinks in the T45. In the Pixie, again, it's primarily going to be restricted to espresso drinks, but it's going to do those really, really well. Now, if I want to make, and today I'm going to go ahead and make a cappuccino for you guys using these two machines. In the case of the T45 with the BrewBot, I have these milk capsule tea discs. So these are filled with a milk blend. You don't need to refrigerate these. Again, they've got the barcode on the top. And you notice this one is a cappuccino milk creamer tea disc. So everything is self-contained in the T45. I'm not going to have to use any external machines or anything like that. However, with the Pixie, I am going to have to use something to froth up my milk for my cappuccino, so I'm going to be making use of the Nespresso Aromacup 3. I've talked about this unit before. Absolutely love having this handy for myself in my own at-home coffee shop, so you definitely want to check this unit out. So let's go ahead and dive in and show you how I can make a cappuccino using both of these machines. Each one loads up a coffee capsule in the brew basket. As you can see, it's really easy to open up. And in the case of the T45 for making my cappuccino, I'm going to do my milk first. So I'm kind of going to do the same thing on my Nespresso as well. So I'm going to get my milk tea disc loaded up, and I'm going to put a cup underneath, because when I close up on top of the capsule, a little bit of milk is going to come out, and I don't want to waste any, of course. So I'm going to get that ready. And then over here for the Nespresso, I'm going to get my Aromacup 3 ready. I'm going to take my milk whisk, this is my whisk, which is great for making frothed milk. I'm going to attach it to the nub inside of the Aromacup, and then I'm going to fill up the milk to the first max fill line, which matches up with the whisk which I am currently using. So I filled that guy up, and now I can start frothing up some milk. So I'm going to close up the lid, and I'm going to press the button just once here on the front of the Arochino. It's going to start spinning around, heating up, frothing up my milk. And I'm going to go ahead and froth up my milk, as it were, on the T45 as well. Real easy to do. All I have to do is press the big silver button. Now again, some of the difference between these units is that in the case of the T45, it can take a little bit longer to do some things. You notice it hasn't started brewing my milk just yet. And there it goes, it's about to get started. The reason for that is the T45 has to read the barcode that is on that T-disc. So, you know, he has to think about it a little while. He has to think about his job before he knows what his job is. But in the case, of course, of the Arochino, really easy to start frothing up some milk. So I can actually go ahead and get started in a moment here doing my espresso in my Pixie machine. So this is real easy to do. All I need to do is take my Nespresso coffee capsule, drop it into the top load here on the Pixie, close it up. You can hear the T45 is finishing up right there. And this looks pretty good. You can see I've got some foam going on. So this is a cool thing about the BrewBot. It will actually create that froth and foam, and that's all done by making use of the barcode that's on the T-disc. So my milk is ready there. So now I've got my milk also ready here in my Arochino. I'm going to save that for right now. And let's go ahead and make some espresso in both the T45 and in the Pixie. So I'm going to take out my used cappuccino T-disc. You see how easy cleanup is right there. Now I'm going to take my espresso T-disc and drop this guy in. And again, I'm putting these in upside down because the barcode has to match the barcode reader on the inside of the T45. Close this guy up, and we'll go ahead and start making some espresso. Now again, the T45 has to think. It has to read the barcode and figure out exactly what kind of a beverage it's going to be making, so it knows right now, okay, I need to make espresso. So it's going to figure out the type of pressure it needs to apply, and it's going to start making my espresso from here. Whereas over here on the Pixie, of course, this is pretty straightforward. I'm making use of an arpeggio Nespresso capsule right now, so all I need to do is go ahead and press the single shot button on the Pixie. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll brew some espresso. Now, as I say, the difference between the espresso on each of these units is pretty straightforward. The espresso that's made with the Pixie is very much a traditional espresso. When this is all done, you're going to notice that I'm going to have a nice crema on my espresso. I'm going to have a good separation between my coffee and my crema. So that's something that I really like about the Pixie. It's very much more like a traditional espresso machine that you would get coffee from in a coffee shop and various things like that. Whereas over here on the side of the T45, it's all done brewing, and you know, pretty much you can see I'm done. There's the BrewBot's take on a cappuccino. Looks pretty good. It's got some nice layering, foam on the top. You've got your coffee, you've got your milk. So it looks real nice and layered. Should taste great. Let's go ahead and mix up our cappuccino, however, over here from the Nespresso machine. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take out, and as you can see, there's my nice shot of espresso straight from the Pixie. Nice crema, good thick coffee down there on the bottom. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my Arochino. I've got lots and lots of foam right there from the Arochino, which is great. And you know, this really depends on the type of drink that you like. If you like much more traditional style coffee drinks like your cappuccinos and things like that, you're going to want to check out a machine like the Pixie and an Arochino. So let's go ahead, take our shot of espresso, and we're going to add this guy first. And now we're going to go ahead and do our milk. I'm going to take just a spoon, and I'm going to pour out some milk to start off with. So there we go. That would give us a latte pretty quick and easy, but I'm making a cappuccino, in which case I want lots and lots of foam. So I'm just going to spoon that out. So you can see this is very, very, very much more traditionally what we know to come out of a coffee shop or something like that. Lots and lots of foam, good layering, and as you can see, much more foam on the side using the Arochino in conjunction with the Pixie machine. But if you want the quickness and the ease of being able to make a cappuccino without having to do some swapping or having to froth your own milk or anything like that, the Tassimo T45 is going to work really well for that. Now, cleanup on both of these machines is really, really easy to do. In the case of the Pixie, I just need to open up the brew basket and drop out my spent capsule. And in the case, of course, of the T45, you saw me do this earlier, just open up the brew basket, grab your spent tea disc, close it up, and you're ready to go. So there you go. There's some great comparison between these two awesome units by Nespresso and Tassimo. So there you are, guys. I hope you found that useful. I really like both of these machines. I think they both create great drinks. I mean, this is a really great cappuccino out of my Nespresso machine in conjunction with the Arochino. Here's a nice cappuccino from the Tassimo BrewBot. Really depends on what your preference is for the kind of drink that you like to create, what you're looking to get. But either way, both of these machines going to save you time, going to save you some money. You're not going to be buying all those drinks at the coffee shop, and you get to have fun and make these drinks yourself. So I hope that you guys found it useful. As always, please join me on Aromacup.com. Find coupons, find out how you can save money on these machines, on the capsules for them, talk with other coffee lovers, find out all the great recipes that we offer up to you at Aromacup.com. I'm Brian. Thank you guys so much for joining me in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. As always, enjoy your cup, and I'll see you next time. Take care.